Welcome to the last video of remedies on screen addiction. So, we have to be good role models for our children, first of all. Our children are all the time following us without fail. What we do, our actions speak louder than our words. So, we have to be good digital role models for our children. And yes, most of our job will be done. Now, a habit is always replaced by a habit. We know that very clearly. So, what habit are we going to inculcate in our children if we ask them to stop using the screen over a period of time? So, the good habit that we are expecting from our children are something like a culture of having storytelling in our homes. Our grandmothers, our grandfathers, even our parents, they narrated stories to us. And yes, stories are also addictive. And yes, when our children, get tuned to the habit of listening to stories, that's a very good way. Over a period of time, we can motivate our children to read the stories, get them addicted to good books. Books are our best friends, and the kind of books they read, we can monitor that. And yes, it's a wonderful way of, imagining things. Over a period of time, they can visualize their goals very easily. So it's like putting our brains to work and to be able to accomplish things over a period of time. So they will be able to visualize what they need to achieve and very clearly in their minds. And when you have visualized something, you know where to move on in your lives. So developing a reading habit can help our children uh, de-addicting them from the screens. So, all these things have to be done in the initial years, 0 to 8 years, where we are the ones who are programming their minds and they are completely in our control. So, it's going to help them in future. They will develop the right kinds of habits in the childhood years. And later on, there's no possibility of their falling into the trap of screen addiction or so. The other thing that can be done with our children is nature walks, going out for nature walks. So we are actually becoming, dependent on technology. But yes, there are many more things to be done in life. We can go to a park and talk about the nature that we are traversing with our children. So as in the trees come by, the flowers come by, and as seasons change, the fruits come by, talk about it. They are immediate, companions, we can say, and they are such good companions that they are, enriching our lives with beautiful oxygen. And yes, we can start talking about trees. An amazing thing that came by once is like the tree growing right in front of my house in the park. When I asked my son, he was not familiar with. And amazingly, I had to look for the name of the tree, Buckane. So many trees that we grow up with and don't even know their names. So isn't it a good idea to talk about the trees as seasons change? The flowering happens, the fruiting happens, the leaves fall down, the leaves come by, and it's such a beautiful way to, observe the trees. And then what all, it's a complete habitat for so many other living things like the ants, the butterflies, the moths, the birds, so many other living beings. They use the tree as their habitat. They give birth to children, they grow and they eat and they enjoy around. And a beautiful habit, if you start giving them a set of binoculars, they sit down and start, because birds and these butterflies, they have to be observed very with a keen concentration, you can say. It's a beautiful way of concentrating also. And yes, they're camouflaged in the environment. It's not easy to observe, not easy to find out. And they're such beautiful birds. When seasons change, they travel from the colder regions to the hotter regions. And yes, you get to see so many different kinds of birds when the seasons are changing. And yes, again, we need to direct our children to such beautiful habits so that in first place, they don't get addicted to the wrong kinds of habits. And yes, if they get addicted, they know where to switch over now. Then a very small thing that can happen in the homes is like we can have tech-free dinners. So no mobile phones will be picked up. Even I will not pick up, and my children will also not pick up. So nobody is going to use technology while having dinners. And yes, that is going to be a time where we will sit down and we will talk about the whole day, what happened during my day. So again, if we sit down, there's something beautiful to talk about ourselves and, how difficult the father can talk about how difficult it has been. He may not, it's all right. You may not talk about the details of the day, but yes, majorly what problems you got through, how beautifully you were able to solve them, and the mother, the children, and what all happened. It's interesting to listen to everybody. So something like this. And yes, uh, developing hobbies is also a very good thing. First, identifying what our children are interested in. Like a very small thing that that is very very important to understand here is uh, my own mother-in-law. She was suffering from cancer, and she used to be on medication and all, and the medications are not easy to digest. It's not easy to go through the treatment that is going on for the cancer. So she used to lie down on the bed with no energy to uh, get up and go out and even talk with people. So while lying down, she was very good at knitting. So what came to her rescue was that a habit of knitting. While lying down, you know, the pain that she was going through was a little less because she put her mind to something very, very interesting that she really enjoyed doing. So some hobbies, if we have inculcated in our children, be it sports, be it art, be it drawing, painting, anything, dance, singing, whatever comes by. But yes, if any habit has been inculcated, it comes to the rescue because then we know where to switch over. If we are replacing that negative habit, what positive habit can be inculcated in that place so that they know where to go now, what to do now. So that makes easier for the children to switch over that habit also. In fact, psychologists say it is even more difficult to de-addict screen addiction. It's not easy. It's more difficult than the drug addiction. So, well, if we have some beautiful habits in place, it's going to be easy for our little children to de-addict themselves. Then developing a gratitude journal, when we are going to sleep, we sit down and we think about what beautiful things happened during the day with us. And then we start recording it on a piece of paper, in a diary, and read it. So that reminds us, or on a daily basis, life is so beautiful and we can be grateful for so many things. And the beauty of writing a gratitude journal is when we get into a positive frame of mind, when we are going to sleep, we are entering the subconscious mode and we are programming our mind. We are telling our mind to receive more positive things in our life. And yes, uh, only when we sit down with pen and paper, when we are not in connect with the screen, we will be able to do that. And yes, initially this can be done by us in front of our children so that they follow us, and definitely when it is followed, we see the beautiful results coming in our children's lives. So well, I think this can come to some rescue for you all, and this may be a good guideline for you to follow so that you don't fall into the trap of screen addiction, which is becoming a big, big problem nowadays.